Well, we have a strategic plan that's going to take us into 2016. So one of the immediate goals for me is to visit all of the colleges and all of the divisions in the university and hear how they feel about the strategic plan, what they think the priorities are, what are their concerns, what questions do they have. We also sent out a survey to all faculty and staff asking them the same thing. So we're going to assimilate all of those concerns and ideas and then prioritize all of the action items in the strategic plan, of which there are about 48. So there's a lot of things that we say we're going to do by 2016. And in an economy like this, with no new resources coming from the state, that's going to be a challenge. So this prioritization is going to be pretty important. And then we're going to create annual plans out of which we get this done. Another priority is to start a major, call it innovation of teacher preparation. What happens to children from pre-K through 12 is going to change drastically, and in 5 years it won't even look like what it looks like now. And Towson, with its reputation for education and for teacher preparation, is going to be recognized nationally for being the leader in that. We're going to be the place people benchmark. We're also using, again, the strategic plan as a guide. We're going to be focusing a lot of attention on STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and its connection to workforce development, but also to education. Somewhere along the line, 3-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and 10-year-olds get very afraid of math and science, and they sort of announce to themselves that they can't do it, and we want to turn that around. So that's a big initiative as well. We're going to be threading leadership development throughout the undergraduate experience. I would like to see some minors in leadership, if that seems to be the thing to do. I'm not going to, as a president, I don't come in and say, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. It's a conversation that we decide together what our priorities are. I'd like to see some master's degrees in leadership, and also leadership for faculty and staff. And so it's students, faculty, and staff. I want us to be known nationally for what we're doing for leadership. How is the world going to be better because you're in it? And indeed, less than 1% of the world's population gets a college education. So how are you going to use that in service is to me, what leadership is, making positive change. So the students are going to hear me say that a lot. And oh my goodness, as I'm about and around campus, what I see in the student activities learn and what I'm seeing in student service, civic engagement, the leadership program, all of that. We're doing so much of it that the whole campus doesn't even know what we're doing. So we're going to have a major effort to pull all that together and market that together so that people can use us as a place to learn how to do it well. And then we're going to continue to do it better and better and better. I also have a lot of ideas about beautifying the campus, not just beautifying it, but making it more student-friendly in terms of not just safety, but, for example, that beautiful walkway that goes in front of the liberal arts. It gets us there. It's very lovely, but there aren't benches yet to sit down on. There's not tables where you can stop and have lunch. I want to create an international walkway there so that we have flagpoles that fly the flags of our international students. This is not with state money, this is with raised money. And we've already sold some in the last week to start the project. But I want our international students to be able to look up and see their flag. It's very important to me because I know how important it is to them. And also it's beautiful. It's just going to look beautiful to have all those flags flying. And it reminds Towson and the Towson University community and the Towson community that the world is a lot bigger than just us. And so that's a major initiative. I have a lot of work I have to do off campus right now in fundraising and friend-raising in Annapolis with legislators, trying to keep tuition down and resources up and all of that, and working with the system of higher education, which we belong to, and community relations. And then there's the internal piece of the job, because I'm striving to be a 50-50 president, and every president has their own style. But I'm a 50-50, meaning I like to spend approximately half my time on campus and approximately half my time doing the things for the campus that need to be done externally. So there's a lot of issues on the campus we have to look at, like the need for faculty and staff lines and faculty and staff development, and the workload and for faculty and staff and the jobs of the chairpersons and how much they have on them right now. But a big portion of the internal part of my job is going to be students. I can tell you right off the bat that what is going to be at the center of our decision making on every single thing we do is what is best for students, and then students. And that's where we're going to be coming from. I want to spend as much time with the students as I possibly can. And at least every day I do at least something, and hopefully more than that, with students, because I don't want to be the external president who's never met them. That's just not what I want to do. So I think students will be seeing me a lot. I hope they don't mind, because I love it. No, I just want to be out on campus. My goal is to be on campus as much as my time will allow while I'm still serving the university the way I need to externally. For example, right now, this month and next, the university, whether it knows it or not, wants me to be in Annapolis because that's where I need to be during the budget sessions. And so I would suspect that this period of time right now would be the least I'd be around, because I'm down in Annapolis a couple times a week, for one reason or another. And but I'm attempting to make sure that my schedule has within it at least one thing, if not more, to be with students. And then any other time, for example, if I find I have a free hour, then I go over to the union, or I go, in a couple of hours, I'm going to go over and visit the basketball team, the men's basketball team, because they've had such a difficult year. And we all knew we had to start over, and we all knew that everybody was new and everybody was sort of new at the same time. And we know that next year will be a different kind of building year, and it's been tough for them. And they've played with such dignity, and they've played with such character and determination and guts, and I'm so proud of them. So I'm going to go over and tell them that today, because I want them to know. So that's the kind of thing I enjoy doing a lot. And then I'll get to be with them, I'll learn some names. So the more I can do that kind of thing, the better. Now, the sad thing for me is that as students are learning that I want to do that, I'm invited to 60 things a month. And truthfully, I'd love to do all of them, but I can't. My job does require me to do a whole lot of other stuff. So I pick the ones I know I can do, and I'm trying to keep a record of what groups I haven't seen, so I make sure I prioritize them later. And I have a golf cart, by the way, which I just found out a little while ago, which is, I can't wait for the weather to clear up, because then I don't have to drive everywhere. I can just get in my little golf cart and just pop in everywhere, you know, so I can't wait till I can get that out. I think maybe the students should decorate it for me, so we'll talk about that.
So what are some of the other events that you've attended and other student groups that you've seen in action?
I've gone to a number of sports events. I'm going to 2 plays over the next couple of weeks, because they haven't had a show yet. The arts haven't really kicked in yet, so I haven't been over that building too much. I went to the student government meeting, which left me completely respectful of this has got to be one of the best run student government meetings I've ever seen. What a group student government is. I like everything about it. I like the professionalism with which they handle the meeting. I like the quality and brevity of the reports. I like the structure of the student government, and I really like what you're doing when you leave the room. You're role models for the whole campus, and I more than respect that, because you know my feelings about leadership. I have been to, oh my gosh, where else have I been? I went to Leadership. Oh, I love Leadership. I wish I'd gone through the whole 7 days. But I only did a day and an overnight there. But I love that, so I went to the reunion for that today. I have been to, well, just drop-ins at the student union, where I just drop in and buy a cupcake at every table, because everyone's doing something that's worthwhile, so I want to give. I can't, other than to just be around campus and sit with people in the cafeteria or something, I can't think of other groups I've been to yet. Oh, did I say student leaders? And
student involvement fair.
Oh yeah, the student involvement fair. Now, I had a real short time for that one, but I could have stayed there 3 hours because I didn't even get to the 3rd floor. And then I had a meeting I had to come back to. But, oh, gracious sakes, all the activities the students have to flesh out this whole marvelous academic experience. I hope students know how fortunate they are. If people think that this is going on at every university to this level and this quality and dedication, you'd be wrong. It's not.
It's so funny. Provost Walsh always talks about the Senate meetings and says she wishes they were run like the student government ones.
I said the same. I said that too. I mean, I said I wish every meeting on the campus was run like this. Seriously, I just thought it was magnificent. I can't wait to go back. I'll probably be popping in a lot just to stay for a little while because I just like to watch you do your work. I'm concerned for every institution in America in this economy, every institution of higher education in America, because at a time like this, funds for higher education are very vulnerable. Luckily, for all of us in Maryland, we're in a state that really does value higher education. The governors have, Democrats or Republicans, they value it, they consider higher education to be one of our greatest economical assets. They believe in the concept of higher education anyway, and where I came from in Pennsylvania was the exact opposite. There is very little support or understanding for public higher education. It's very sad. So the massive amount of cutting being done to higher education in Pennsylvania well, it's massive compared to what's happening in Maryland. So nobody wants to cut higher education. Nobody looks to that first. Likewise, you have a legislature that does not want to raise tuition, and neither do we. We don't want to raise tuition off the charts. Now, you have to raise it some where you can't stay active, but some states are doing massive tuition increases to cover the cutbacks, and we're trying very hard here in Maryland not to do that. So I can't imagine being in a healthier state dealing with this kind of a problem. I'm always worried because even when funds stay flat, you can't keep up. And of course, Towson has grown a lot over the last 10 years. And sometimes growth money has kept up and sometimes it hasn't. So we have some making up to do, some catching up to do. So yes, I'm worried about it all the time. I don't sleep about it because I really want you all to have a great education. And if we get too much cutting back, that's going to be more and more difficult. It's also going to be more and more difficult for every institution. So it's not like we're sitting here in a terribly vulnerable place. Towson has a wealth of resources in terms of not a lot of money, but what we have is faculty and staff that are so committed. And I think most every student would say, yeah, when I go in an office, I feel like I'm really treated specially. Or my teacher gives me all the extra time I need, or emails me back right away, or will text me if I'm not in class, where am I? You could do better on this, holding the academic bars higher. And one student said to me, and I love this comment, I say it over and over and over again, I asked him, so what do you like about Towson? And he said, well, I understand we're 22,000 students, but I don't feel it because I get so much individual attention from faculty and staff and the offices and the people in admissions and all that, that I don't feel the 22,000. So I think Towson really is a very big university with a small university feel. And that is a major, major asset to students. So I'm so proud of that. I didn't do it, I just got here. A lot of people for 10 years have been putting a lot of attention into this concept, and it's a very beautiful thing for students. Some other students said to me, well, I transferred here because I came from another institution where I wasn't Maravene Loeschke, but I was 21604. And I got my test back, and it came back to 21604. And then nobody ever knew my name. Well, that's not us. And I think we can be real proud of that. I just want to have good, solid relationships with the faculty and the staff. I want to support what they need to do. My feeling is that as a president, it's my responsibility to empower them to do their best jobs. I don't think it's about the president. I think it's about the people working with the students. And so my job is to help them be the best they can be. So that's the relationship I want to have with them. But in terms of leadership development, I want to have meaningful programs for faculty and for staff to develop their own leadership skills. And you can apply those into your office. You don't have to be a senator to use your leadership skills. You can do it in your community. You can do it in your discipline. You can do it as a nurse. You can do it as a registrar. So I want all of us to be on the same page. Faculty, me, custodians, staff, parking attendants, students, graduate students, that we are preparing here for a life of service with our education, a way of giving back. Well, no other president went here. So one of the things I think I bring that no other president has yet, it's not their fault, I went here. Anything I have achieved professionally, and even I think personally, was because of my Towson education. And that's for a whole nother video as to why that would be the case. So with that in mind, I came here loving Towson deeply in my heart. If I had gone to the University of Minnesota or something, I would have to spend some time learning to love it. Not here. Here, I was a student just like you, with dreams just like you, with concerns just like you, debt just like you, part-time job just like you. And I know what it means to do that here. So I don't have to learn to love it. It's been there a long, long time. So my feeling is that anything I can do for students here and for faculty in order to help students and staff is my giving back. And what an incredible privilege it is for me, an honor to be able, at the end of my career, because I'm not starting my career, I'm at the end part of it, to be able to give back to the place that gave me everything. It's just fantastic. And I feel the weight of it very strongly, too. I represent all the alums. I represent the students. And so I feel the weight of getting it right very strongly.
And so while you have Towson as one of your first loves, your other first love has to be the arts, since that's where you heavily came from. And we've already seen the arts honored at our graduation ceremonies with honorable doctorates, and you wanting to see plays. And so what kind of role do you think the arts will have at the university now that you're here?
Well, the arts have been a central part of the university for quite a long time. I mean, institutions don't have that kind of fine arts building sitting on a campus. That's very rare. And what's rare about it as well is that is a building for students. That is, other universities have large performing arts centers, but they're bringing in shows. It's like the Hippodrome, you bring in a show. The philosophy behind the arts here at Towson is that building would not be for that. If you're going to go see a major Broadway show brought in, there are 5 or 6 places in Baltimore you can do that. This is for student productions, student concerts, student art exhibits. And so you're not, the students aren't trying to grab time to do their shows. That's what the whole building is about. The arts is one of the places on campus that already has a national reputation. And as we want to raise Towson to that, the arts will be critical to that. I do not think, at least when I left, I'm not sure if it's still true, but a lot of new theater companies were starting up about 10 years ago in Baltimore. I think there were some 13 new theater companies. Every single one of them was either started by a Towson grad or a group of Towson grads with other people. And I think that is pretty much close to the case now. That's huge. And then you have the people winning Tonys and nominated for, Academy Awards and all of that kind of thing on top of that. And then you have this this dance program that has this connection with Alvin Ailey. Well, everybody doesn't get that. They've earned it. And so there's a lot going on there that they've deserved their reputation. Transforming student lives. I want as many student lives to be transformed because of what I do every day as humanly possible. That's really almost all I care about.